everyone. Welcome back to Muse. I am speaking with Dexter Carr. I am so excited to be speaking with you. I have so many questions, but first, how are you doing? How was your week? How are you feeling right now with everything that's been going on?
I'm good. This week has been very overwhelming, for sure, to say the least. But all amazing things, you know what I mean? We're so excited for this show to drop. We're so excited for the world to see it. So it's been nothing but good things.
Awesome. Well, we'll get to the show here in a moment. I'm curious. I have so many questions. I have a huge love and respect for the dance world. I danced myself for 15 years growing up. I'm a huge like dance moms lover. I've always loved the playground and all of the content that comes out of it. So I'm really excited to chat with you today. I would love to kind of start with you have a very illustrious career in this dance realm, in this industry. So talk to me about choreographing and dancing and kind of how you came into it in the first place.
Yeah, I started when I was 16 years old, which is, late compared to, as a dancer. Like that's considered too late. But my best friend from back home was like, "You should come to my studio with me," and I was like, "Okay." So I literally just went to her studio with her, started immersing myself in all the classes, and I fell in love with it. I was an athlete before that, so I would do sports in school, but dance just kind of took my heart and we went from there. Moved to New York at 17, ended up getting on Broadway with Lin-Manuel Miranda and bringing on the musical. So that was like a dream come true. I mean, like Lin-Manuel is like goals, literally. So I got to work with the best of the best on Broadway, and then I decided to move to LA to continue my commercial dance career. So got to choreograph for Iggy Azalea, the Baby, Lil Baby, Katy Perry. So it's been an amazing ride for sure.
That's incredible. I love that you had that launch like that. And to like you said, I mean, Lin-Manuel Miranda is massive and Broadway, I mean, even so many people even just stop at the idea of Broadway. And for you to continue on after that, it's like that was your validation to be able to like move forward in a way, which I love that. Talk to me about what does, and I'm curious to know and to be able to educate those who especially like people obviously know that dancers and backup dancers and choreographers, like those are the dancers that encapsulate the LA industry. But what does the process look like for when you get approached to choreograph for big names like that? Like, how does that unfold?
So my first time being approached was through a good friend of mine, Cheryl Murakami. She was choreographing for Iggy Azalea,
Mhm.
and she literally called me and she was like, "I think I'm pulling out." And I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" And she was like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna pull out. It's not really my vibe, but it's totally your vibe, and I think you should do it." At this point, I'm like new to LA. I don't really even know a lot of people, but I threw myself in. And luckily, I had the best of the best in the cast. Like I had veterans who like really guided me through the process. So I was very lucky in that process. But I mean, in LA, you never know. You can get a DM from somebody telling you to come choreograph, or you can get an email. It literally is like out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. And like you said, I mean, it's very unpredictable. And then it's so random. You'll have one thing that's much more legitimate than you thought it was going to be, or vice versa. You just literally never know. And every day is so different, and everybody that you meet too.
Exactly.
I think that's so fascinating. You've also recently choreographed for Nicki Minaj for her most recent tour. How did that process look like? How did that come about? Talk to me all about that. That's
Again, another text randomly from my good
that's
friend Bo.
right.
Yeah, these texts are crazy.
Yeah.
My good friend Bo, who is her creative director, who I've worked with Tinashe, with a bunch of other people, he hit me up and he was like, "This album is so your vibe. Like, pick which song you want, and I want you to go crazy." So he gave me full creative freedom, which I was so grateful for. And I am a huge Nicki Minaj fan, like in every sense of the word. So to me, it meant everything. I know every lyric, I know every line, everything. So it was a dream come true, literally.
Amazing. I grew up, I know every word to super bass, and
Come
that is
on, let's be real, you
that
know?
on my resume. I love it. Love Nicki Minaj. Talk to me about Outlet. I understand that this is a very interesting community that's being run to basically provide an education for dancers. I think that this is a very fascinating point about you that I would love to touch base on before we get into the next chunk, obviously, which is going to be the Hulu series. But talk to me all about Outlet. I think that that's so
Um,
fascinating.
yeah, Outlet is my baby. Like it's something I started in COVID because, as you know, everything shut down, dance classes, everything shut down. And my partner Kaylin, who is out of Vancouver, hit me up and was like, "Listen, I think there's a really great opportunity here to build a community around what you've already built outside of LA." Because I was teaching in LA, yes, but like to be able to get global, you know what I mean? You kind of have to move things around, change things up a bit. And he introduced the idea of tutorials and podcasts and just even like little audio recordings where I get to say, "Hey, you're about to compete this weekend. Have a good competition. Remember this, remember this." So it's like it's been such a journey to where it is now, but we've literally created a community around dance, around people loving what they do and maybe not even being the best at it because it's not for advanced dancers only. It's for
Mhm.
intermediate, it's for beginners. We have even just intro to dance, like step touch. We'll teach you how to do that too. So it's for all walks of life in the dance space, for sure.
I love that. I think that it's really important that you've curated this because so many people you see, and especially like nowadays with social media and everything, we see these stellar videos of people dancing online. And like right now, a lot of the clips that even pop up in my For You page, it's a lot of influencers like dancing on Hollywood Boulevard, which they're amazing. They look amazing and
Right.
they are. But I love the idea of really reminding people that like yes, they're there, but there's so many different elements of building to that point of dance that are so important. And I think that it's important to encourage beginners because it can be intimidating. So I love that you're like breaking down that intimidation factor and just like encouraging all different walks of life and all different journeys in terms of dance like that. I think that's beautiful. I love that.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, my favorite classes that I teach are my beginners. I got to be honest. Like people,
Great.
yeah, like people who come in raw, ready to work, ready to sweat. It's not about getting every move. It's just about like feeling incredible and doing the things that you want to do that you've seen online and making it possible for each and every person.
Definitely. Well, and I think that technique is super important, but also I think a lot of times it's like if you just have confidence in your execution, I think that that's going to enhance your moves even more. I
True.
love that. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Now,
Yeah.
talk to me all about the playground. Let's kind of start there, and then we'll get into the Hulu series. The
Uh,
playground's iconic. I mean, I've never taken a class there. I want to just even go watch. Like, I love seeing the videos pop up on my social media. I've been such a fan for so long. What is it about the playground that makes it home for these dancers? And what is it about the playground too that you think just like has this amazing appeal? Like it's just so iconic. It's such a staple. What is it in your opinion that just makes it that, I guess?
so funny. I've been thinking about that answer for years, and I don't know if I can really put it into words. It's you got to feel it. You got to
Okay.
get in the space. You got to feel it. Kenny Wormald and Robin Anton are owners and creators of the playground. I mean, they're from such different walks of life, right? Like she's Pussycat Dolls, like burlesque. He's like Footloose and Justin Timberlake, and the two worlds combined just created a safe space for everybody in the world to want to come and just like jam. It's literally a playground. Like you come in as an adult and you just go nuts in there. And I think what I'm so happy about is that you guys feel what we feel in that space through the
Mhm.
videos too. You know what I mean? No judgment. You can be there's amazing dancers, professional dancing with Beyonce in the same room as somebody who is literally 70 years old and they're doing the exact same dance. And that I don't think you find that anywhere else in the world. I've taught a lot of places in this world and I have never seen the same vibe that we have over there.
It's so great. It really, really resonates through. And I think a lot of it too. I think I will say that like, not to nerd out, but to also nerd out. I think a lot of the videography too, and how you guys are
Oh
videoing
yeah.
the dancers, because it really the movement and how you move with it, it's that style that's developed over the past few years that I think just really gets it, and the play in the background. It's iconic. It's so so awesome. I love seeing them. I stop every time I see a video, even if I don't know the person. Like I'm like I give them my full attention. I'm like
Yeah.
go for it, you know? It's awesome. I'm so curious, how did this Hulu show come about? Congratulations. This is
Thank you.
massive. I mean, and I'm so glad that we get to really peel back that curtain because again, like I've seen the videos for years and I'm like, I know I could Google like how do I go to a class there, but like there's just this element of like, but
Right.
what but you want to learn more. So I love that Hulu is giving you guys the space to be able to really like do that and to make a whole show out of it. Talk
Yeah.
to me about how the show came into development and also Megan the Stallion is a executive producer. How the heck? Go
I
for it.
mean, and again, another text. Oh no. So Robin, literally, and I mean this, like texted me 2 years ago and said, "Would you do a reality show about the studio?" And I was like, "Yes." Like, come on. I'm also a huge reality TV fan. Like, I watch, even if it's the show that no one watches, I am watching it. Like about whatever it is. And I just love that you get to see people in their raw element and see the disagreements and see the moments that are like breakthrough moments for people, see the sadness, see the heartache, see all of it. You know what I mean? I'm an only child and I'm like a kind of serial people watcher. So I just love seeing, oh my God, it's like my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
So like I just love seeing people in their true raw element. So when she brought up that idea, I was like, of course, because people see us online, right? We don't talk. And that's the thing that I hate about being a dancer sometimes is that we don't get to share our voice and we don't get to say who we are, what we're going through before you see this 30-second clip of us. So the fact that Hulu was so down to give us that kind of opportunity was like, sign me up for real.
Definitely. What do you think that the audience is going to take away after they see this reality show? Because even when I was watching the trailer, I expected to learn more the history. And then when I'm gonna be honest, my jaw dropped when I saw that. I was like, oh, we're getting like a full scope. Like we're gonna have favorites. We're gonna have people that we like that we maybe don't vibe with. Like we're getting the full gamut of a reality show, which I think is amazing. I love that so much.
Yeah, because I mean, I want people to know that we're human beings too.
Yeah.
Like, just get up and do an 8 count, and then go
Right.
back in a little box. Like, we're humans, and there's
Mhm.
people that you're gonna like, there's people that you're not gonna like, but there's also things that you're gonna understand, and there's also things that you're gonna say, oh, that's why they dance like that because that's who they are as a per. Like, dancers have so much amazing complexities to them, and I just really am so excited that people get to see that now.
Definitely. Is there anything that happened during the process? Obviously, I don't want to spoil anything in terms of, I'm never a spoiler. I never want to ever do that. But is there anything in the process that you can share that either maybe surprised you or in a good way or any other type of way that when you were filming, are you like, oh, maybe I didn't realize that maybe a certain situation was going to get brought up on camera, or I didn't realize that we were going to actually highlight this or that. Like, were there any surprises, I guess is kind of what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah, totally. We bring up a very serious issue of Black Lives Matter and
Mm.
everything that went on during that time. And I had no idea that that was going to be brought up. And I realized during filming all of my feelings about that. Obviously, I knew my surface feelings about that, but I really got to realize what I really feel about it. And I realized what I feel when people, and you'll see it in the show, when people who disagree with kind of what we went through or have an opinion on what we went through and don't are not in that space with us. So I'll say that. But I think what I learned by watching myself on television for the first time is that
Right.
I, like I said, I'm a human being and I have emotions and I get angry, but I also love very hard and I care about humanity a lot. Like I care about people a lot. So when somebody comes in and they try to, try to just stir the pot for clout or stir the pot for views, I'm not with that. So
No, I agree. It's like I feel like the word to sum you up would be passionate, and I think that that's
yeah,
really great,
yeah,
strong characteristic to have. I love that so much.
yeah.
Oh, well, I'm so excited. Finally, my final question to you is obviously if this series had the opportunity to continue and to progress, do you think that that would be a potential conversation? Do you think that you would see most, if not all of the cast members come back and sign up for a season two? Is that a hope of yours? Or do you think this is a piece that maybe it just might exist and then, who's to say what happens after that? What are your hopes and desires as this rolls out and goes to the world and then beyond?
I would love for it to keep going. I think it's like it's so necessary for dancers to get a voice, and we get some new people. We get some OGs. Like we really just
Right.
need this. The dance community never has anything other than a tour or a music video or something to
True.
stand behind. Like it's time that we get a voice. It's time that we are able to show who we are and what we're about more than just on the dance floor.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that so much. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for speaking with us and for speaking with me today. And again, congratulations. I'm such a fan of the studio. I'm a fan of yours as well. I think you guys are all so freaking talented. I'm so excited to see the show and to see where everything continues to go from here. Just congratulations. It's massive. I'm so
Thank you
excited
so
for you
much.
guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.